Imagine walking through the jungle, and suddenly, you hear a rustle. You freeze, hoping it's just the wind, but then you see it. A slithering, massive creature that sends chills down your spine. These are the kinds of snakes we're about to show you today. From giant serpents that could swallow a person whole, to venomous creatures you'd never want to cross paths with, these 20 snakes will have you rethinking every step you take in the wild. Trust me, you won't be sleeping easy after this. Number 20. Eastern Indigo Snake. You won't believe it, but our first snake isn't scary at all. The Eastern Indigo Snake, also known as the Gulf Coast Indigo or Racer, is completely harmless to humans. It's actually a stunning deep blue color. Even when approached, this snake is so unlikely to bite. Instead, it has some quirky ways of warning you off, like flattening its neck, hissing loudly, and even buzzing its tail through the leaves. And if that doesn't work, it might release a foul odor. But don't worry, these snakes are incredibly shy and would rather avoid humans altogether. Now, does this sound like a snake that'll keep you up at night? Probably not. If you think more surprising creatures are on the way, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell, or a centipede might just pay you a visit in your sleep. Number 19. SpiderTailed Horned Viper. The SpiderTailed Horned Viper is one strange snake. Not only does it have rough mottled skin in white and beige, but it also sports a pair of small horns on its head. The real kicker? The end of its tail looks like a spider. Native to Iran, this snake blends perfectly into its rocky surroundings, making it nearly invisible. The spider-like tail is its secret weapon, used to lure unsuspecting birds into thinking they've found a meal, only to fall into the snake's trap. What makes this snake even more fascinating is its hunting tactic. The spider at the tip of its tail wiggles just like a real one, tricking birds into swooping in for a snack. By the time they realize it's a trap, it's too late. While local birds have learned to avoid this sneaky predator, migrating birds often fall victim to the spider-tailed horned viper's clever disguise. Number 18. Hog No Snake. You won't believe it, but the Hog No Snake has a funny, turned-up nose. While it might look unusual, it's not dangerous at all. This little snout is perfect for digging in the dirt. But that's not the only cool thing about this snake. The Eastern Hog No Snake, also known as the spreading adder, flattens its neck to look bigger when it feels scared. Don't worry though, they're not biters. Unless you're a toad, their favorite snack. Here's something even more surprising. Yes, Hog No Snakes are mildly venomous, but their venom is only harmful to amphibians. Their rear fangs aren't even used for defense, so humans have nothing to fear. While a few people might be allergic to their saliva, there's never been a recorded death from a Hog No Snake bite. Quite the relief, isn't it? Number 17. Black Mamba. Black Mamba. Just hearing the name is enough to send shivers down your spine. And it's not just because people are afraid of snakes. The Black Mamba's bite is deadly and has become legendary. These snakes, which can grow up to 14 feet long, are found in sub-Saharan Africa. In the past, getting bitten by one meant almost certain death because there wasn't an anti-venom available. Sadly, in some remote areas, that's still the case because medical help is too far away to save someone in time. But despite the scary stories of black mambas chasing people, these snakes usually try to avoid humans. The real problem comes when human activity forces them out of their natural habitat. When they feel threatened, they become incredibly aggressive. Combine that with their lightning-fast speed and venom that works quickly on the nervous system, and you've got one of the most dangerous snakes on the planet. Number 16. Gaboon Viper. The Gaboon Viper is one of the largest and heaviest vipers in the world, and it looks like something straight out of a nightmare. Found in the savannas and forests of Western Africa, this snake has some terrifying traits. Its fangs are the longest of any venomous snake, measuring over 2 inches. They're so long, in fact, that the snake has to fold them up into the roof of its mouth when not in use. Talk about a scary adaptation, but it's not just their looks that will send chills down your spine. The Gaboon Viper strikes its prey with lightning speed, injecting venom and holding on until the victim dies. Then, it swallows its prey whole, head first. While they won't be coming after you, if one of these snakes were to bite you, the result could be deadly. Scared yet? You should be. Number 15. Flying snake. Oh, excellent. As if we didn't have enough to worry about with snakes on the ground, now they're gliding through the air too. But don't worry, the name flying snake is a bit misleading. These snakes don't actually fly. They can't flap around like birds. What they can do, though, is glide from tree to tree, and that can look a lot like flying. These slender reptiles live in South Asia and Indonesia, and they have a cool trick. By sucking in their belly scales, they make their underside concave, letting them glide up to 300 feet. With a wiggly motion, they can even extend their glide. Luckily, unless you're a rodent, bat, bird, or lizard, you've got nothing to fear from these quirky creatures. Number 14. Saharan horned viper. You won't believe what's lurking in the deserts of Africa and the Middle East. The Saharan horned viper. This nasty reptile isn't just known for its unique horns, but also for its deadly venom. One bite from this snake and its victim could face a quick and lethal fate. If a human gets bitten, the symptoms are far from pleasant. We're talking hemorrhages, nausea, vomiting, and even heart issues. While one bite might not always be enough to kill you, would you really want to take that risk? Number 13. Two-headed snake. You won't believe this. Two scientists named Dave found a rare two-headed snake in a New Jersey forest. Naturally, they named it Double Dave. But this snake wasn't just any snake. It was a timber rattlesnake, a venomous species. What made Double Dave even more incredible is that both heads were fully formed, with eyes, mouths, and even tongues. That's super rare, as most snakes with two heads have one smaller, weaker head. Here's something even stranger. Double Dave's condition, called polycephaly, happens when an embryo starts to split, like twins, but doesn't finish. This makes life tough for these snakes. They move slowly and become easy prey, since the two heads often can't agree on where to go. Even more bizarre, the two heads sometimes fight over food, and in extreme cases, one might even try to kill the other. Number 12. Atheris HPA, a hairy snake, just what we needed to fuel our nightmares. Meet the Atheris HPA, or as it's often called, the spiny bush viper, though I prefer the name hairy bush viper. It's not actually hairy, but its long, spiky scales give it that fuzzy look. Thankfully, these nightmare-inducing creatures are found only in small parts of Central and East Africa, mainly in Uganda and Kenya, so most of us are safe from a surprise encounter. But if you ever do spot one, it'll likely be enjoying some sun on top of flowers during the day, though they're night hunters. Their favorite meals? Frogs, lizards, mammals, and sometimes birds. Human contact is rare, which is a good thing because their venom is no joke. It can cause internal bleeding and organ damage, and without the right antivenom, it can be deadly. And in the remote forests of Uganda, help might not come fast enough. Scary, right? Number 11. Spitting cobra. These snakes are living up to their name. They literally spit venom. This isn't just any old spit. It's a powerful venom they shoot right into the eyes of attackers. Over time, these cobras have evolved this amazing defense mechanism, allowing them to deliver pain from a distance rather than just relying on a bite. They can accurately hit a target from as far away as 6.5 feet, giving them a strong advantage against threats. What happens if you get too close? Get ready for a wild ride. The searing pain and blinding effects of that venomous spit will leave you reeling and unable to act. Thankfully for the spitting cobra, this unique ability lets it escape danger without needing to engage in a fight. So, if you ever encounter one of these fascinating snakes, it's best to keep your distance. Number 10. Sunda Island Pit Viper. Look at this stunning snake, the Sunda Island Pit Viper. With its striking blue color, it stands out from other snakes. But don't let its beauty fool you. This snake is not friendly. Instead of slithering away when it sees people, it often chooses to fight. This can lead to a venomous bite, causing pain, swelling, tissue damage, and even severe internal bleeding. So, while these blue beauties are amazing to look at, it's best to steer clear of them. If you find yourself on some Indonesian islands like Komodo or Bali, be extra cautious. These snakes are commonly spotted in these areas, even on busy streets. Number 9. Long-nosed whip snake. Long-nosed whip snakes are some of the strangest looking snakes around. Known for their funny facial expressions, these reptiles have pointy faces that make them look a bit silly. You can find them in places like India, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam. usually hanging out in forests, grasslands, and even parks and gardens. They're masters of camouflage, blending seamlessly into their surroundings, which helps them sneak up on their favorite meals: frogs, lizards, and small rodents. Surprisingly, they're not fast at all, taking their time to move slowly through their environment. These snakes are bright green and incredibly slender, giving them a unique look. Their long noses and strong brow lines only add to their odd appearance. But don't worry, they're harmless to humans. Their venom is so weak that it only works if the snake bites and chews for a long time. So unless you plan to let one nibble on your ankle for hours, a bite will only cause a little itching. Number 8. Tentacled Snake. Did you know there's a snake with tentacles? This strange-looking creature has a pair of tentacles sticking out from its face, and scientists aren't quite sure what they're for. Tentacled snakes are found in Southeast Asia, living in rice paddies, lakes, streams, and sometimes even seawater. They're not great on land, so they prefer to stay in the water, often burying themselves in mud at night. These snakes have a clever way of hunting. They anchor themselves with their tails and twist their bodies into an upside-down J shape, waiting for fish to swim by. When a fish gets close, the tentacled snake wiggles part of its body to create ripples in the water. This makes the fish react, moving in a way the snake can predict, allowing it to strike and catch its meal. Number 7. Elephant Trunk Snake. Elephant Trunk Snake, what a name. You might be wondering how this snake got such a strange title. While the reason is a bit of a mystery, we can tell you that these fascinating creatures are non-venomous and mostly found in the coastal waters of Asia and Australia. They have loose, wrinkly skin that resembles an elephant's trunk, which makes their name make a bit more sense. Despite being in Australia, where many animals can be dangerous, the elephant trunk snake is quite shy and harmless. They prefer to stay hidden because they are often hunted for their skin and meat. These snakes spend most of their time underwater, hiding from people, and can hold their breath for up to 40 minutes. So if you ever spot one, don't worry, it's just trying to mind its own business. Number 6. African Egg-Eating Snake. Did you know that the African egg-eating snake is a master at raiding bird nests? These snakes live mainly in sub-Saharan Africa, but you can also find them in some parts of the Middle East. They love eggs so much that their entire diet consists of them. With their incredible climbing skills, they can scale rocks and trees to reach bird nests, making them expert egg snatchers. Once they grab an egg, these snakes swallow it whole, just like other snakes do. But here's the twist. They have a special mechanism in their throat that punctures the shell. This allows the yummy insides of the egg to slide down into their stomach, while the empty shell is pushed back out in one piece. It might sound gross, but it's a clever trick for these unique snakes. Number 5. Calibar Burrowing Python. This snake has the thickest and toughest skin of any snake species. Scientists believe this tough skin is a result of its diet. And no, it's not because it munches on vitamins for strong skin. The Calibar burrowing python loves to eat baby rodents. The problem? Mama rodents don't take kindly to this. When the snake tries to snack on their young, the mothers often bite back to protect their babies. You won't believe how these snakes eat. The Calibar burrowing python digs underground to find and raid rodent burrows, devouring every baby in sight. While it may sound harsh, this unique feeding habit explains why these snakes developed such thick skin. Without it, facing angry mother rodents all the time could be pretty upsetting. Number 4. Tiger Keelback Snake. Imagine a snake that could give you nightmares. The tiger keelback snake is one of those creepy creatures with some seriously unsettling habits. It's not just any snake. This one is mega venomous and super poisonous, hailing from Japan. It gets its toxic powers from its favorite food, deliciously toxic toads. While watching it munch on a massive toad might not be the most enjoyable video to see online, it's definitely intriguing. These snakes have a special gland in their necks that stores all the toxins from the toads they eat. When threatened, they can display this area to scare off predators. If a predator dares to bite them there, they'll get a face full of nasty toxins. Talk about a rude awakening. So while nightmares are optional, the tiger keelback snake's scary traits are hard to forget. Number 3. The Rhinoceros Viper. The Rhinoceros Viper, also known as the rhinoceros horn viper, butterfly viper, riverjack, or horned puff adder is one of the most venomous snakes in the world. Its unique name comes from the horn-like scales on its head, which give it a striking appearance. Found in the tropical forests of Africa, these vipers can grow between 28 and 42 inches long and weigh around 22 pounds. But don't let their size fool you. Whether they're tiny babies or full-grown adults, their venom is deadly. Just a small drop can kill. One of the most shocking incidents involving this snake happened in Dayton, Ohio, when a man kept a Rhinoceros Viper as a pet. Unfortunately, the snake bit him and he tragically died as a result. This serves as a stark reminder that keeping dangerous animals as pets is a risky choice. Maybe consider getting a friendly guinea pig instead. Number 2. King Cobra. King cobras are famous for being scary, but here's a surprise. They really don't want to interact with humans. Instead of attacking, these snakes would rather escape and avoid any contact. That's definitely some good news. Found in places like India, China, Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines, the king cobra has a striking look, especially when it raises its neck and flares out its hood. This posture usually happens when the snake feels threatened or is protecting its eggs. Now, let's talk about their reputation. King cobras are responsible for about 5 deaths each year, which sounds alarming. However, that's much less than the 5 times more deaths caused by North American rattlesnakes. If you do get bitten, be warned. The symptoms are not pleasant. You'll first feel pain, then paralysis, making it hard to breathe as their venom starts to break down your body. Thankfully, these snakes prefer cold-blooded prey, like other snakes, so humans aren't their main target. Number 1. Death adder. Did you know that if death is in the name of an animal, it's probably not a friendly pet you'd want to cuddle? The death adder is a highly venomous snake found in Australia and Papua New Guinea. It's surprising that more deadly snakes don't live in Australia, as it feels like every step you take could lead you to another dangerous creature. Death adders are among the most lethal snakes on Earth. Until 1958, getting bitten by one was often a death sentence. Even today, if you don't get the right antivenom quickly, the bite can lead to paralysis and, in some cases, death within 6 hours. And there you have it, 20 snakes that'll haunt your dreams. Next time you're in the wild, just remember, some of these creatures could be closer than you think. Thanks for watching, and if you're brave enough, hit that like button and subscribe for more spine-chilling encounters. Stay safe and keep an eye out for what's lurking.